Can people imagine being locked in apartment buildings within the northern states? You white Americans, can you imagine that? You think that would be really terrible, huh? I think that's sort of natural for a technologist to consider that as a punishment, because a technologist sort of is like that. I mean, they spend a lot of time at their computers, okay? And it's like they have technology, and what that implies, like, wow, so anything and everything intellectually, access to anything and everything intellectually, and everything that could be intellectually, and all this potential. What an interesting concept for a punishment about all the fucking crime, all the goddamn crime. Yeah, just to punish everybody concisely, talking about the lot of them all, okay? And they're all locked in apartment buildings within the northern states, okay? And they earn good behavior points. And they can spend their good behavior points on things like beer, okay, for an example. Yeah, beer, maybe. I've never met a hippie that didn't smoke pot each and every day, all day long, and a bunch of it, not at all. Though they don't like beer. Okay, all right. Though, yeah, there are some genius hippies that are sort of peculiar amidst the other hippies. Trust that. Yeah, and they're great musicians, okay? And they've got a point, and be cool, and so forth. Cool. It's just that's not quite the way I am, not actually, though, all right, that's cool. All right. Though, like, okay, like, people haven't studied biology, though. Not actually. People would suddenly were locked in the apartment buildings within the northern states, okay, and they had all their time. They didn't have to work. They worked 0 hours. They want something on this Mayan continent. They didn't even have to fucking work, not at all. They worked 0 hours. And they had access to technology, so they could sit around and play video games all day long if that's what they chose. And maybe a bunch of them would, okay? Various of them would want to study, maybe, and look around on the internet and read and so forth, okay? Though, I'll tell you something for a little clue, all right? Thinking about the eye, the shape of the eye, and considering maybe a half sphere, in lieu of the fact that the eyeball is really a sphere, has a vast effect upon the psychology. I've studied biology, though. I've studied a lot of things, matter of fact. Yeah, I sound really worked up. You realize I'm happy? I'm happier. Bunch of people haven't studied biology, bud. For an example. You hear me? Okay? What, you want to poke your eye out and take a look, bud? For a little, I mean, they think that would be a punishment, though. It's sort of a natural thing for technologists to consider that a hypothetical, probable, reasonable punishment. Okay, lock them all. It'd be like a fucking day spa. What did they get? They got a fucking day spa retirement facility because they're the descendants of all those criminally insane terrorists. Okay? You realize most of those people, most of them, 80% of them, would realize that was better than things were before when everybody was running around wild and doing whatever they wanted and so forth. Most of them, maybe 80% of them, would realize that was just better. It was a better fucking life, though. Wow, the punishment? Wow, thanks. They really might, dude. They really might. Well, I mean, I've studied a lot. You realize how much I needed to study to realize not the bad thing, not at all, to include the second and no? Well, okay, well, who said that? Me! I did! Okay? I'm horrified about all the fucking unreasonable, criminally insane things. Oh, hunky-dory. That's horrifying. It's false. Okay? It'd be like thinking about my eye is like a little fucking sliver or something. What the fuck? That would horrify me. My eye would fall out or something. How horrifying, right? Right? What's the integrity of this body? Well, the ionosphere is part of the integrity of the eye, for an example. What's the integrity of what? So I'm thinking to lock all the white Americans within apartment buildings within the northern states. It's like they've got people getting away with like, okay, so they're going to make black states for blacks, and some white people want that. They want some of that. The fuck? And y'all think that's okay? They're enslaving you. You got you enslaved, enslaving y'all, enslaving your wives. They got enslaving your kids. I'm thinking to lock you all in apartment buildings within the northern states. You can get a fucking day spa retirement facility because that's your punishment because you're the descendants of your ancestors. You inherited their crime. There you go. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. Okay? All right? So you understand? Don't get all whacked out thinking all the technologists are bad guys. No, they're not, dude. Not really. No. All right? Some people can learn to fucking cope, man. Cope with some reasonable. Yeah, they can. They can learn to cope with some reasonable. Yeah. All right? Something to consider.